Okay.
Where'd you get these ones? Super soft. Where'd you get these? They don't
What did we do?
All right.
Oh, we started making that thing that covers the garage door with. Where we put the plastic around it.
Okay, I'm waiting on you guys. Waiting on a few things. We only got a couple problems I'd like to go over today. Now, if you think logically like what we've been doing, the first chapter we talked about was your salary, what you can make per year, what you can make per hour, that type of thing. What are all the different parts of a paycheck? Second chapter we did, jumping out of order. Second chapter we did was buying a home. We talked about all the parts, you know, the utilities, the power, all the parts you put into it. We did the cars, so the big ticket items. Now, this chapter, I think I said chapter 6 last week, it's actually chapter 7. Now we're furnishing the home. So now you have the apartment, you have the home you want. Now, how do you purchase the stuff that's in it? What are the different things you have to think about? You can do rental services, you can do just pay up front, you can use credit cards. We're going to talk about all the little things that you need to think about when you're purchasing something. Today's stuff is the big ticket items. So, here we go. We're in section 7.1.
Yeah, just go to Menards and just buy all. Yeah, it's.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm not going to have to correct that again. Let's not talk anymore. Okay, purchasing appliances, number one thing. Let's talk about when there's discounts. I want to talk about that today. That's number one big thing. Because then Black Friday's coming up, this is where a lot of people would buy their appliances that they need. If you can survive maybe a month or two without a washer dryer, or you can just go to the laundromat. Some people just do that anyway. But let's say you want to purchase a new one, it's always smart to wait till Black Friday deals. No joke, especially Cyber Monday, the Monday after Thanksgiving, you can get 70-80% off some of those things sometimes. Like it's a no-brainer. You're gonna save a ton of money because the price they have is just fictitious. That's why when you go into Best Buy, you can haggle the price of any appliance, refrigerator, TVs, stoves, washer dryer things. You can haggle the price. Like I'm not gonna pay you $2,200 for both of them. I'll give you $1,800, and they might actually give it to you. So because the price is negotiable. But today we're talking about the discount. So when you're in Black Friday, how does this apply? This really applies to anything really. It could be any purchase item that you want to buy. We're going to talk very generic. And then the next thing is to figure out what the sale actually is. So there's two types of problems that I want to talk about today. So it's the actual when you're given a discount straight up, or when they give you the price and you want to know which one's the better sale. Because sometimes you want to go after the deal where it's the biggest % off, as opposed to the price. Because maybe getting the biggest % off will save you the most money in the long run, so you can get that big ticket item, even though you might spend a little bit more. If you're getting more % off, that's saving you more money in the long run. And that's like a big deal. Like I know previous years, TVs are always the big ticket item for most homes. I'm expecting very similar situations this year. TVs, appliances. There's websites you can go on, already see the Black Friday deals. They have for every website. There was a website I saw the other day. You can type in the item you want. It gives you every website what the price is going to be on Black Friday. That was like the best website I've ever seen. So if you're looking for that one specific item, now you can just search that item and it gives you the prices so you know which store you need to go to. But we'll talk about that like tomorrow. That'll be kind of one of the things we'll talk about the websites. Okay, discounts. So let's say we're going in and we're going to buy that washer dryer. This is something that I know, like personally, that I'm going to need to buy soon. A washer that's causing problems right now. It's not spitting it out and actually rinsing the water out. So I know at some point I might need to either A, fix it, or go buy a new one. Well, if let's say Black Friday deals are coming up and they're offering 35% off of a washer dryer. Okay. So what that is, that's a discount coming off the top. There's two ways to do this. There's a longer way and there's a shortcut. You need to see both, because if you're in the middle of the store and most people have cell phones, they're going to smartwatch, you can do it in 3 seconds and figure out what the price is. But again, it's only when they're saying percent off, they're not actually telling you the price, and you're trying to figure out what the actual cost is. So let's say the washer dryer you're looking at is $17.99, or not $17.99, but $7.99. Let's say that's the price of the washer that you're looking at, okay? So if it's 35% off, one way to do this problem, this is the first way. You take your $7.99, geez, the marker's dying. Let's see, you take your $7.99, there we go. Take your $7.99, and what you do is you multiply by 0.35. The reason why, if it's a percent, you move the decimal over 2 spots. So when it was like 7%, you move it over 2. Okay, so it's 0.35. What this will do, this will tell you what the actual price is coming off the top. So 0.35 times $7.99, we get $279.65. So what this number is, the is it 265? 279.65. That is not the price you're going to pay. That is the price coming off. This is the discount price. This is the discount. So what you have to do for the final price is you actually subtract. Yep. So $7.99 and subtract 279.65. Now, this will give you what your final total is. Now that's before you go up to the register and add sales tax back in. So $7.99. $7.99. We're going to subtract the $279.65. We're spending $519.35. That's a significant change, right? That's a pretty good difference in price, and plus you can still negotiate sometimes if you didn't want to spend the $7.99. Now sometimes like in Best Buy, if they offer a discount, you can't haggle. So it's one of those things that they just do that. They only offer the discount off of the original price. That's something that a lot of people don't realize. So if they have a sale, you can't put the discount on top of the sale. You can't compound it. And another thing is, you might find a better deal online. I know I hate saying that, but you should double check. Because maybe $5.19 is what the normal price is anyway. Some places do that. One thing that you should always pay attention to, if there's something you want to get during Black Friday, you should have already been paying attention to it for the 2 months leading up to see what the price is, so they don't jack up the price on Black Friday day and then give you a discount and brings it back down to normal. Sometimes that does happen. It just creeps up $50-$60 every week until Black Friday, and then they just take it all off again. So, question.
What did I do? I got the same price. I did something different.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Now that's the long way to do it. Now this is not practical if you're in the middle of a store. You're trying to figure out what the price is. That's silly. That takes too many steps. People forget what the number is. There's an easier way to do this. Here's the other way. What I do, this is what I do every single time. If you know it's at 35% off, if you're not going to spend 100% on the item, what you do is you subtract 35 off of 100. So what that gives you is it gives you 65%. Now what this number is 100% of cash minus 35. This is what you're actually spending on the appliance. You're spending 65% of what it originally cost. This is the shortcut for how you find that price really quickly in the middle of the store. Take 100, subtract what your percent is, that's this number, and you take this times your $7.99. And what that does for you automatically is it automatically subtracts out the discount and it tells you what your total is right away. This is the way that I would do it in the store, especially if you had a cell phone on you. Subtract 100, take 100, subtract 35, and that's the number you multiply on your actual item. Because there's no subtracting it. It's one number, you immediately go into the final price. Now from there, you'd have to add sales tax. One of the laws that was passed, online retailers do have to charge you tax now in state. That's one of the new things that now applies to it. So Amazon purchases now have sales tax for the state of Iowa. That used to not be the case. You could buy items from different states, you could get them super dirt cheap, pay no taxes on them, but online retailers now have to accommodate to which state you're in. So there's other ways to get around that, but it goes by the shipping address, so that's how it's a fail-safe. Some people would spoof their IP address, so it looked like they were in Missouri or Nevada, and they have really low sales tax sometimes. So if you spoof that, but then they look at what your shipping address is, and they charge you the sales tax per shipping address. So. Okay, questions on the shortcut for figuring out what your total is. Now, I'm not adding taxes, we're gonna do that later. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out the raw price. That's the number one thing they do on Black Friday. Oh, 35% off, 55% off, fine. But what the other stores have is they might have different prices on different items. So like, for instance, maybe instead of going after this item for 35% off, maybe you wanna go the model that's higher, but you get a better sale on it, or maybe it's a worse sale. And you need to just check, is it 35% off on this bigger item, or maybe it's more? So for instance, maybe they had a washer dryer. Maybe they had a washer dryer in the Best Buy ad, and it was a bigger model. It was, it had maybe more capacity, whatever it was. Let's say it was $9.99, and you're like, okay, that's significantly more money than the other one. And I mean, you're kind of hunting around. Maybe it's not the best to go after the cheapest one, but maybe it's $9.99. But what they're saying is on Black Friday, now you can spend now maybe it's $6.99. Okay, I know that's still more expensive than this one, like no brainer. Like, well, Ward, I don't want to buy that one. It's more expensive. But maybe that's a better model, and it has a bigger discount. So that's something that it's like a weird sales tactic, where they just tell you the price, but they don't tell you the percent off of it. So what you do, here's the trick. You subtract the two prices. So you're gonna subtract $9.99 and you're gonna subtract $6.99. And you get $300, right? So you get $300. What you do is you take that difference and you divide by the original price. My original price of my item was $9.99. What that will do is it will tell you your percent of what you're getting off. Now for me, $300 divided by $9.99. I don't think that's quite 30%, but 300 divided by $9.99. That's exactly 30%. It's just over. I thought it was just shy. So it's this percent off. Again, they'll tell me the decimal screen, 0.300, blah, blah, right? It's 30% off. Well, just knowing that percent, this is the better deal. Like, other than it's just being cheaper, that doesn't make any sense. They're not giving me a better discount on the bigger model. So, that's something you do need to check. Sometimes it is worth it to go after the bigger item, because maybe it's 40% off, not 30. It's a little sales thing. But again, you always subtract the difference in price, and then you take the percent. And you divide by the original. Always the original price what the item is. Okay, questions at all about the idea of like Black Friday and sales coming on? It's one of those things, like a lot of people don't really realize they're doing it until you get into the real world and you're living on your own and you need items like this. This is a good day to wait for. Cyber Monday, the Amazon Day in the middle of the year, Amazon Prime Day. There's just other sales day, like there's certain, they call it Black Friday because all stores want to go in the black again. That's when you have profits. They do a lot of losses all year until like one shopping day of the year. But what other people don't know is like, you can buy all this stuff online that day and not have to leave your home. You get all the Black Friday deals. You don't have to stand in the doorway, at 3 in the morning trying to get that iPad you want. When you can go on the website, buy it at the exact price that they had it for in store, and it's guaranteed to ship it to your home. Or you can do a pickup later in store later that day. That's a pretty fun one too. So a lot of people don't know you can do that. There's only certain ones that they call them the doorbusters where you have to be in store, but everything else on the calendar you can just buy online. And some people don't realize you can do that.
What's the fun in that?
Yeah, I mean, but you get the TV that you want. You don't have to stand fighting for 50 people trying to figure out where they're putting it in the store. You get it instantly. You can have it that morning at midnight because the Black Friday started at midnight on the website. You don't have to wait till 3 in the morning they open the door. So it guarantees you have it. So it's one of those like little things, little tricks and tips for you.
You don't get to like.
All right. Any questions on how to find percents or how to find discounts off the top? Tomorrow, I'm going to show you a couple websites you can use to help you out. We're going to look at the Black Friday websites. We're going to look at some online retailers, what they're saying, things you should look for. So yeah, so we're gonna do that tomorrow, so be kind of ready to go. Okay, but that's it for today.
What?